hopefully you guys have finished your tree drawing and you've set this aside. We're actually going to take this tree and we're going to fill it with some of the words that hopefully you've already brainstormed. We are going to fill our tree with words that talk about our roots. Where do you think we're going to put those? That's right, at the bottom of the page in the tree roots. What are things that you brought with you when you started at John Sweat? You had family, that's definitely one. Family, maybe you were part of a swim team, or maybe you have brothers. I was kind of thinking of my own kids as I did this. Sports, home, anything that makes you think about sort of your start. What are the things outside of John Sweat that make you who you are? Then you filled a list of words thinking about your time at John Sweat. What's been important to you there? What have you learned? What have you experienced? What's just been the best memories of all? So fill that list. And then your future. What do you hope to do next year at the junior high? What do you hope to do when you finish high school? What do you hope to do someday when you've got kids of your own and a family? So fill that list with sort of your dreams and hopes for things you want to do someday. Setting this aside, we're going to practice a little bit. So there should be a blank piece of paper. And basically what I wanted you to think about is that your handwriting is not that interesting. Let's take a word like happy. And if I just did it in my own handwriting, it'll look something like that. It's not that great. Font or creating text is its own art form. I gave you some examples right here. These are actually right off of Google Drive documents. Nothing hard to find. But notice how each one of them is different. Some have really thick lines, some have thin lines. Some are sort of fancy and some are really simple. Each one of these fonts somebody designed. So we are going to play around with creating our own fonts, or at least just thinking about our letters so we don't just put our handwriting all over our piece of art. Okay? Some of the words that are fun to do. Let's think about this word happy. If I'm thinking happy, I'm feeling kind of excited. Maybe I draw the word happy really big. Think about how words make you feel. Big, excited, right? What about when you're feeling really sad? Are you going to draw it like that? The word sad kind of makes me think of this. I'm going to draw it small. When I'm sad, I feel small. I don't feel big and excited. Okay? So that's one thing to think about is size. Another thing to think about, how can we add on to these letters? Let's go back to happy. Always a great idea is to make a letter thicker. One way to do that is to just add another line. So I'm going to go like this. Only to the left side of my letters, I'm going to make the word happy thicker. And that makes it even more happy, right? Let's see, I'm going to go on the left side, so I'll do this side and this side. There's no rules. It's your own word drawing. You can do whatever you want. Another thing we can think about, let's take the word joy. Let's add on to this word too. What can I do to make the word joy a little bit more fun to look at? Well, I'm thinking let's just add some doodles to it. Maybe a little zigzaggy thing going down the J. Can always make a letter thicker just by drawing it again. How about some little dashed lines? That'll make it exciting. And I could add maybe like a dotted line around the O, a little circle inside. Why not? I just made that word a lot more fun to look at than if I had just written it in my handwriting. Another thing to always think about that you guys know at this point is cursive. Cursive is often called script. This is a script font if you're looking on a computer. So a great word for cursive would be something like love, right? It's kind of a soft word, romantic maybe. We'll do that in cursive. There you go. There's my perfect word, love, in cursive. But you can change that cursive also. I could go back to this word and always think about making a letter thicker. What if I use my pen and I draw one side of my font a little bit thicker as I go along here? It makes that word even prettier to look at. So these are some of the things that artists play around with when they're working with letters. I would like you to take your list right now, and hopefully you did some of these with me, but if you didn't, it's okay, I won't know. But take a look at your list of words and practice some of them. What's a fun way to do them? We can add little rolly things, and you are welcome to copy any of my ideas. I'm going to do the word family. And I like my family. I think they're a little goofy, so I'm going to make it kind of a silly script with lots of curvy things. Let's make sure I spell it right too. Keep an eye on me. When I do too much, I tend to misspell words. Okay, that's another fun way to do words. Another thing we can do, let's say I'm going to choose home. Home is very stable to me. I'm gonna just do it in block letters. And I can add this little marks at the end wherever the letter stops to make that word look really stable and strong. I could still go in and make this letter thicker if I wanted to. So there's another example of how to play around with your letters. Another thing I've seen people do is put a box around each letter. Let's say I want to do the word art. A with a box around it. R. T. Almost looks like Scrabble letters. So that's another way of changing up your lettering. Go ahead and fill this page and practice some of your words so that you feel really comfortable when it's time to go fill in our tree with all the words that mean something to us about John Sweat.
Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, lady, running down to the river.